Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Check the Score podcast. Today, we've got a new guest on the podcast, Ethan. How are we?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been an eventful week in Rugby League, as we can see by your jersey. That's what we'll be talking about today.
Of course.
St. George Illawarra fan yourself?
Oh, mate. Almost heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. It's been a rough season for you guys, but we have had some good news in the last couple of days that Shane Flanagan will be the new coach for next year. Obviously, he's the assistant at Manly, and he won a premiership at my beloved club, Cronulla. What are your personal feelings as a fan of the club?
Man, I hope he can bring some winning to us.
Bring some winning?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good coach. He showed it. Need a bit of a refresher after Griffin.
Yeah.
Carr's been all right. 2-2. Can't ask too much of him with situation he's in, but I reckon he'll be good with is it Hornby and who's the other?
Is Hornby on the coaching staff?
I think it might be assistant. Because
obviously they were talking about him as the head coach role.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I knew he had some affiliate with like the juniors. But yeah, obviously there's a few St. George players. I know he's not in the men's NRL, but Jamie Soward's the WNRL coach.
Yeah.
And then obviously got Hornby and a few others. And even Shane Flanagan played junior football at the Dragons. So, a lot of people that know the club, I think that's what they need, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, 3-year deal, they're saying. Hasn't been signed on the dotted line yet, but he...
Looks to be.
He released a statement yesterday saying that that's what looks to happen with the club. And obviously, he's got a history of building rosters. He's currently the assistant at Manly. Probably going to see the year out there with Anthony Seibold. In my opinion, he would have been my first candidate, not Jason Riles. But I don't know. How about you?
Man, I don't know too much. But yeah, Riles, he can stay at Storm, I think
he'll take over Bellamy.
Yeah. We got the better deal.
I agree. So I think I heard he's 56, so he's not a young coach, but by no means is he an old coach.
He's younger than Griffin.
Oh yeah, mate. couldn't go much worse than Griffin, honestly. Because I remember even at one point pundits were calling for Hasler, and I'm like,
I did say that. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, because there was Hasler, Hornby, Riles, Flanagan. There might be one other, but I don't know. And obviously the assistant, Ryan Carr, that's his name. Yeah. He's not doing too bad at the moment.
Oh yeah, with what his situation's in, he's brought back Lomax onto where he's supposed to be,
right center, not left center.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like that deal with Ravalawa.
Oh yeah, literally. And then what was the other thing? Oh, and you obviously caught the W over the Rabbitohs on the weekend.
Oh, what a great win.
One of the competition's favourites.
I don't want to hear no Cody Walker or Latrell.
That's what I said to my mum. So my mum's a South fan, and I wasn't paying close attention to the game. It was kind of on in the background, and she was like, "How are we losing?" I'm like, and then sorry. I said, "How is South losing?" And she's like, "We've got no Murray, Walker, Latrell, and there was someone else, I think."
Yeah. And
she's like, "Oh, Jai Arrow and Tom Burgess, they're all out." And then I'm like, Mum, your comp favourites and you're versing
the Dragons.
The Dragons. I'm like, your roster without those players is probably still just as good. I'm like, you still got Ilias, you got Campbell Graham, you got Alex Johnson.
I mean, you saw the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
I was getting ready to cheer, but man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a odd weekend of football. There was a few good games and stuff. Let me just get up the results. I don't remember them all.
Manly thrashing.
Sorry?
Manly thrashing the Dolphins.
What about my team getting thrashed?
I don't pay attention to Sharks.
Cronulla got flogged by the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah,
absolutely thrashed, and hence why Nico hasn't been picked for the Blues. As a Queensland fan, it's sad to see one of my own boys not get picked for rep football, but
you can't bag him for his last game of Origin. He played centre for
15 minutes, and that was because of a HIA. And I read a thing this week that apparently Brad Fittler was going to consider activating Burton as 18th man because he knows how to play centre.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's played Panthers centre.
Yeah, obviously he's played Hines at right centre.
Yeah. He's never played it before.
Literally, I'm like, and then he misses the tackle on Munster, and it's like, oh no, who would have thought a centre that doesn't play centre?
They did him dirty there, but I think he deserved a chance.
It's like at least Latrell played centre at the Roosters, and he knows how to play right centre or left centre.
And he's just a beast.
Yeah, exactly, and he always operates on that left for South.
Mm-hmm.
But what other shocking results were on the weekend? The Warriors beat the Raiders. I didn't watch that game.
Paul Croker.
Oh, I did watch that game because it was Croker's 300.
300. Sad to see.
They spoiled the party. That's right. Penrith. God. Roosters look so bad, man. They look awful.
So they switched Manu out of the halves?
Yeah, he's playing fullback this week. They got some rookie at halfback, and they've put Kiri at 6.
Yeah, I did see that.
So that should be interesting. That I don't get that squad. Like, they've got a lot of good players, but it's like too many superstars for one roster, literally. Like, is Radley suspended? Because they've got a lock that I've never heard of before this week.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. That bloke is riddled with just brain snaps. Nafahu White. He's playing lock this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. But...
Yeah, neither. But yeah, should we have a look at the games this week and what we think may happen? So Friday night is Cowboys Penrith. Obviously, the Skies are pretty and heavily involved in Origin, so all their first choice picks probably aren't going to be, on the roster.
Yeah, Cowboys. You got Nanai.
Yeah,
playing for Queensland.
Yeah. Dearden's back because he's not 18th man.
Oh, okay.
Because Brimson's 18th man for the Maroons.
Right.
But yeah, no Crichton, no Luai,
no Cleary,
obviously. No Yo, and no Martin,
losses.
and no Martin.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So the Cowboys are missing, obviously, Nene.
Yeah.
Robson, because he's in the Blues team now.
Yeah.
Holmes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And is that it? Am I forgetting someone?
Seems like it. I mean,
I feel like there's someone else. There has to be.
Still pretty big losses for both.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Cowboys in North Queensland. I'm going to go Cowboys, especially what they did to the Melbourne Storm a couple of weeks back. They can turn that switch on. It's just they've been so inconsistent this season.
But then you've got Penrith, who can never count out.
Oh, 100%. Especially
that squad.
Look,
with or without.
They've got almost all their best players out the rep football, but they've still got the likes of Dylan Edwards and Tungo and even Zach Hosking, rookie this season. He's been so good.
He was rested last week, so
yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention, but yeah, should be. Luke Garner's back as well.
Oh, okay.
So I heard that. I think he's back on the bench, but it's funny though because they've got such good quality, but their replacements are such a drop off. You got I think their halves this week are Salmon and Cogger.
The weak gutted dog.
Yeah, the weak gutted dog. You got Salmon and Cogger, and then replacing Stephen Crichton in the centres is Tyrone Peachy. Oh.
I mean, he's played his fair amount of footy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a bit of a journeyman. He's played Cronulla, played at Tigers, played at obviously Penrith, a few other clubs in between. Yeah, obviously he's played his fair share of footy and should be interesting indeed for that game. Maybe we jump into the next game, which is, I think there's only one for Friday night. It's Saturday, there's two. One of them is going to be pretty interesting to talk about. The first one is Roosters Newcastle.
Oh,
in Newcastle.
Man, all right. Who have they got out this week?
Well, as in Newcastle.
Yeah,
Frizzell.
That's right.
Frizzell will be out.
Ex-Dragon.
Yeah, Ex-Dragon. Yeah. I clicked on the wrong game. Oh my god, why does it keep taking me to sports bet?
Tell me something, Josh.
Yeah, I know. Obviously Moses is out for the Eels.
Seen his replacement?
Yeah.
Big Maddo.
Oh, that's why I clicked on the wrong game. Sorry, but yeah. That's what I was going to get into. Ryan Madison playing 5'8" for the Eels. I made a TikTok about this yesterday. I was like, I looked at this. I'm like, what on earth? I'm like, and then do you know who's lining up in the halves for the Manly this week?
Who?
Jake Arthur.
Oh.
Brad Arthur trying to make his son play 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because he'll be running at Maddo because he's playing halfback this week for Manly, and I think who's playing 6? I think Schuster. Schuster's 6.
He's good.
Yeah, no. I don't get the hype around Schuster.
I mean,
they offered him $850K a year.
$850K
on a 3-year deal.
Far out.
He's a better back rower for his size.
He's a good back rower.
He's like a lock. He'd be so good at lock. Him playing out of dummy half would be good because he's got a kicking game.
Maybe not as quick at dummy half.
Oh no, not as quick. But I mean, imagine him obviously you got guys in the comp like Reed Marnie that just always kick 40-20s from dummy half. Even Ben Hunt in Origin kicks 40-20 from dummy half, as much as you don't like to see it. But yeah, back to the Newcastle game. It keeps redirecting me to the Para game. I don't know why. It won't let me look at the team sheets for this game. I'm just gonna assume what player's gonna be out. Obviously, yeah. You give it a go. Teddy will be out. Who else will be out for the Roosters?
I think you got too much hate for last game.
Oh God, yeah. He's been the Blues' best player for the last four seasons.
Australian captain,
New South Wales captain. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. No, not too many people out.
Yeah.
It's mainly Tedesco.
Yeah, like Tedesco made like 2 big mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I think that's it, because obviously Gags would be out and Ponga would be out, but they're both not.
Didn't get the call up this week.
I wouldn't have picked Gags. Unpopular, contrary to popular opinion.
He's always been an Origin player.
Yeah, but I think
weird to see
it's getting on. Like, I think like Coates on the wing's better. And I said to my mate, obviously, I'm good friends with Winston. You've met Winston before, and I've talked to him about that. I think because Hammer's played so many games at fullback this season, he's better in the centres, playing through the middle. Yeah. So I'd have him and Holmes through the middle, unless you want to play Holmes on the wing. But I think he's better as a centre.
Yeah, he's a try scoring freak.
Oh, he's great, and obviously he played well at the World Cup for Australia. He's like one of the best try scorers of all time for Queensland.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think Gags has had his time, and even if you wanted to,
the torch, and
obviously like Xavier Coates missed game 1, so clearly he's not even in the first choice of backs for the Maroons. So obviously Cobbo's injured and stuff like that. That's
a big loss for them. He's a beast on the wing.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get more into that in a little bit. There's another Saturday game. Is there 3 Saturday games? My God, there is. There's 3 Saturday games, 1 Sunday game, and 1 Friday night game.
Yeah, they had 1 Sunday game this weekend as well.
Yeah, because they had the Monday game. Tigers, Melbourne, at Campbelltown Sports Stadium.
Could see an upset from the Tigers.
Yeah, could. No Munster, obviously.
Buller's been strong.
Buller's been good, man. He's honestly top 3 probably for Rookie of the Year this year. He's been so damn good. Like, you got like Jacob Preston, who's been amazing.
Oh, Preston, yeah, 100%. Bulldogs.
Who else is there? Obviously, Hosking counts. Just trying to think of other rookies.
Yeah.
I was going to say Toby Couchman's a rookie as well.
He hasn't done too much. He hasn't played. I think he's still like...
He's not getting enough games. He gets rotated in and out. Who else is there? There's a few others. I think Manly might have 1 or 2. They've always got good young players. But he's been phenomenal, Jareem Buller. Have you heard the origin of his name?
No.
So Jareem and I think it is JA for like, I think it's LeBron. Like, oh no. It's Jordan and Kareem. Like Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
They're really pushing that for the NBA player.
Yeah, literally, Jareem. I know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the reason why that's the surname, but I think Jareem is for Jordan. Right. I'm not even joking. I think I've heard that on commentary before.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's different.
Someone said that to me. It was definitely on the like Fox or something. I heard about it. I'm like, damn. Obviously, no Coruscant got injured last week. What do you think about that? Do you think Tino should have got suspended?
Oh, 100%. You saw the elbow.
It wasn't an elbow though. It was forearm.
Forearm, elbow.
Because everyone said obviously he put Marnie in a HIA the week before. So I don't know. I think it's like do you know what it reminds me of? It's like how Joseph Suoli's running style, how he runs with high knees.
Yeah.
And it's like not something he can really like change too much.
It's also a big height difference, Tino and
I get that 100%.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was going into that tackle being like, I'm going to be versing you next week.
Yeah.
Woof. Like, you know what I mean?
Bit of Origin bad.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I'm like, of all players on that Tigers roster, you hit their only representative footballer. Well, obviously, the Tukamanu got picked, but we'll get, obviously, talk about that later. But yeah, at the time, their only representative footballer in that squad. Crazy. I was expecting 2 weeks, and I was expecting like someone like Christian Welch to come in, but obviously he got suspended on the weekend. So he's not playing for Melbourne. Big Nelson's starting in the front row with Is it Kamakamika? Is it
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
He's been good.
Yeah, he has been good. Is Olam injured? Because he's at 18 this week.
Maybe.
Olam's at 18. Remus Smith and Marion Seve in the centres. George Jennings on the wing. Because obviously Coates is at Origin.
Yeah.
I think the Tigers might have a good shot.
That's what I think. I think they can make the upset.
What a resurrection of a career from Brendan Wakeham.
Yeah. Yes, really.
Brendan Wakeham, he was by far one of the worst players on that Bulldogs roster.
100%.
Got exiled, and now he's one of the best players at the Tigers. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I remember I was at I think you might have been there the other week. I was at the pub, and it was the Canberra Tigers game, and Wakeham, from the depths, clawed the West Tigers back into that game. I could not believe it. It was crazy. But yeah, he's had an absolute resurrection, and I don't know if Luke Brooks is injured or been stood down, but he's not playing this week.
Really?
No Luke Brooks. They're playing Stafford Toa at 5'8". And
5'8", really?
Yeah, and Wakeham at halfback.
Interesting.
Wakeham
combo.
The general. He's gonna be. He's gonna be. It's not like even Coruscant's there to help him now. It's Jake Sibcombe and John Bateman at lock. I think that's a good choice. He's captain this week.
Bateman, yeah.
And then obviously the notorious Alex Twall on the bench. we love this. I want to see that donut go this season, please.
Is he getting his meat pie?
It's like Blake Laurie for you guys. I remember he had his donut, and then he just went on to try scoring.
He had like the most tries in the season at one point. Like maybe
That's
first
crazy.
Or second game.
That's crazy.
It was good to see.
Yeah, and the final game of the week, both sides in dire need of a win. I am going to this game on Sunday, Arvo at Shark Park. Cronulla versus the Dogs. Me and Winston out at Shark Park.
I hate the Dogs, man. I hope Cronulla get the win.
You prefer Cronulla over the Dogs?
I do. Just for Nico. That's the only reason why.
Right. I'll be honest, I don't like Saints purely because of the rivalry, but it's kind of been funny over the last... We've been going to a few of the Saints versus Cronulla games over the past couple of years, and I think there's one in 2 weeks' time, and I think I asked you a couple months back, and you're like, no, we're not going again.
You know what? I think we have a chance.
Do you want to? We'll go.
I'm down for it.
We'll go. I think it's a Shark Park as well. The Cauldron.
I remember last time, earlier time. Not good scenes.
Last time when we went to Shark Park, it was when we were out on the hill, and you and one of our other mates, Nathan, went to go get food, and me and Sean sat on the hill, and we sat.
That one. I thought I was talking about
Oh no, that's at Cogra. No, I'm talking about the time before that. Right. Do you remember when it's obviously our home game, and I sat right in the middle of all the Dragons fans, and I picked the spot, and I didn't notice it until you guys walked back over, and you're like, "Good spot, Josh," and I'm like. I'm like, there's no way I've actually gone ahead and I've outdone myself there. Obviously, Cronulla actually have 0 outs this week. None. No representative players.
That is true.
So full squad. Obviously, the Dogs are missing. The Dogs are missing Josh Addo-Carr. Braden Burns fills his spot on the wing. TPJ's back. Obviously, didn't get picked for Origin this for game 2. Obviously, I've referenced him a lot, but when we talk about the Bulldogs, it's hard not to talk about Winston. He made a TikTok the other week. He does Teamless Tuesdays, and he talked about how Serraldo in his press conference said he's going to make a few changes. The only change he made was Addo-Carr because he's out for Origin. And he's like, "You're joking." He's like, "There's no way."
It's not much they can do.
Apparently, Kyle Flanagan's been killing it in Cup. He scored 4 tries last week in Cup.
I did see that. Yeah. You got like a crazy amount of points because he's kicking them as well.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question. You play Supercoach, don't you?
Yeah, fantasy.
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, fantasy. How do points work when players get interchanged to NSW Cup?
They don't count at all. They're just out. It's only for
That's BS.
Season, yeah.
That is so rigged. I can't believe that. Because imagine you had Kyle Flanagan in from the start of the season. You're like, all right, he's a Dogs halfback. They're going to be better this season. Obviously, they've got Reid Marnie. They've got Vilama Kickout. They've got all these good players.
Promising, but...
And he's promising, and then he gets dropped the cup and puts 4 tries on him.
Yeah, well, I don't see many people having him there.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and obviously the teams of the buys this round: Titans, Rabbitohs, Broncos, Raiders, Dragons, Warriors, Dolphins.
Dragons a chance to get off the bottom. Mate.
Oh, mate! If the Tigers lose,
Yeah, we're on the same. I think there's like a two.
There's only 2 points. So if the Tigers lose,
then we're just and doggies depends if they get smashed. If they get rolled over by Sharks.
no, they've got the worst for and against in the comp. So if they lose if they lose as well, we'll go ahead of them. They've got a negative 116. The next is the next worst in the comp's the Roosters.
Really?
Negative 90.
Wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It goes Dogs, Roosters, Raiders, then Cowboys, you guys.
I think we've got probably like one of the best for and against for a bottom place team.
Yeah, well, at the start of the season, you were losing games by 6 points or less. I remember
it was heartbreaking.
Like I remember Anzac Day.
Oh, and I was at that game.
The only team I hate more than the Dragons is the Roosters. I can't stand the Roosters. I think
heartbreaking last play.
Not many fan bases like the Roosters,
no.
Especially South fans. But yeah, man, I couldn't believe it. I was barracking for the Dragons. Didn't Dragons win Anzac Day like last year?
Yeah.
So I was hoping that
Shield.
Yeah. Oh, and the Charity Shield. Oh, you beat.
That was a good start of the season.
You beat South as well.
It was a good start of the season, right?
Yeah. Wasn't that your first Charity Shield win in like a decade?
I swear it wasn't that long.
It was something like that. It was like 8 years or something like that. I swear it was like a long time.
Man, I didn't think it was that long. Shit. Oh, we got the win.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for a first segment, that's pretty good.
That is good.
Yeah. Cool. So we will have a break and then we'll jump into segment 2 where we talk all about Origin 2. Okay, we're back. And we're back with Origin 2. I think this is probably one of the main reasons we actually chose to do it now because we thought we'd preview.
Timing.
Yeah, 100%.
Team list in yesterday.
Yeah, so obviously the Maroons was on Monday.
Yeah, a bit earlier.
And the Blues were yesterday, which I was kind of surprised about because obviously we had 2 back rowers out from game 1.
Yeah.
And I expected maybe Jermaine Hopgood to get the spot.
He's been a machine.
Exactly. And obviously
season.
they picked it before the Eels game. So I'm like, obviously they weren't even considering him.
Yeah, that 100% he deserves the spot. I mean, he's an Origin player, you can see already.
Yeah, because
maybe the next few years. Because
the ins and the outs, just to make sure, obviously Cobbo, Billy said, is not 100% fit, so they didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
They also said that obviously then we had Tom Gilbert, dislocated shoulder, out for the season apparently.
Right. Season.
Yep, they said season. And then who was the other one? Ojaiaro, syndesmosis, hip drop. Actually, whilst we're on topic of it, what do you think of the hip drop?
It's a tough one to ref. I mean, some players, they go for it. I guess it's just all their body weight. It's dangerous, but sometimes it can't be avoided if you're just falling.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to judge, but
like I know you play just park rugby league. Like, do you still play?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Retired.
So but retired, hung up the boots. But was that ever were any wrestling tactics similar to that coached or?
Wasn't coached, but a lot of players did do it. They would hit drop, but it wasn't really picked up.
Yeah, because obviously at that level in rugby league, obviously they're so big and so fast. Obviously, when you've got someone that's over 100 kilos crashing down on your legs. But obviously that's not so much the build for park footy.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I just didn't know if that's because obviously I'm a big rugby league fan, but I've never actually played it in my life. I've played touch and I've played Oz tag, but I've never played rugby league.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know what the case was. Is there any injury similar to that where there's leaning on the legs or anything like that, or?
Not really, because I guess the refs didn't pick up too much.
Because it's been really bad this season, really bad.
It's been a lot.
And I hate that it's a grey area. There's so much
indecisiveness.
Yeah, there's so much it's all up in the air, and it's kind of, and obviously there's a lot of stuff with the match review committee about it. And then there was one a couple of weeks ago. I remember I was watching a game with my mum, and Pat Carrigan did a hip drop. I think it was against Melbourne.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we're like, Origin's in 2 weeks or Origin's in a week or something like that. And he got cleared. Nothing. And we're like, ooh.
It is, yeah. It's a bit touch and go.
Yeah, whereas...
That's how they see it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so obviously Jaiara's out with that hip drop injury. And then there was one other change. I think it was Dearden, just 18th man.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he actually made any, big changes to the side. Why would you when...
You won the first game.
We won the first game. So, it was... I'll just double check. So out of the squad for the Maroons was... Yeah. So Coates, Nanai and Fodawaker came in for Cobbo, Gilbert and Arrow, and obviously did and went back to the Cowboys as 18th man. And Brimson is 18th man. And Corey Horsburgh is 19th man.
Is he 19th man?
Yeah.
It'd be good to see him have a run.
I'd love to see him have a run.
Big red on the big red.
Big red on the big red at Suncorp.
That would be a sight to see.
What a legend. He's just passionate. Like he's just limbs.
All passion,
I love him. In terms of a footballer, like he's probably not the best going, but he's such a workhorse and he's all passion. You see him like
he wants to win every week.
Oh, when he cries on the field, man, it's like man, it's like that means that
He
much
felt
to
that
him.
loss.
Oh, for real, 100%. But Coates back in the squad, as we've talked about before. I think he's very similar to Cobbo, but he's more of a threat in the air, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
And he'll be playing on
More than Lindsay Collins though. I don't think anyone's more of a threat than him.
Everyone has eyes on that man.
He does.
I think he got dropped to the bench in this game,
Oh.
but I wouldn't be surprised if they change front rows again. Oh, never mind. No, he's starting. Him and Tino are starting. Yep. But yeah, everyone's going to have eyes locked on that man. For real. You're going to need to put Turbo on whatever edge side he's running at so you can have someone out jump him. It's crazy.
Depends. Was that luck though? Was that a bit of just jump, hopefully catch it? Or do you reckon he's been practicing those ones?
He's not been practicing those ones, that's for sure.
He's getting the high
But I
balls.
don't know if it's luck or not. I think maybe Tedesco was a bit down on confidence. Obviously, he had that slip against Hammer the play before. And then he got out jumped by a man named Lindsay.
His own front rower.
His own front rower. The guy he calls skipper at club level. He out jumped him.
He did.
So good.
Hopefully he bounces back though. With a good game.
Yeah, 100%. And then obviously Nanai, or Nanai, however you want to pronounce it, he was suspended for game 1. So he didn't get picked.
Okay.
So that's I don't know whether, obviously, he was out of favour for game 1. Obviously, he couldn't have got picked. Let's be real. He couldn't have got picked. But it's whether Billy actually would have him as his first choice rower because he comes in when he's not suspended. And obviously, we had 2 outs. I think Jai Arrow, I think he is better than Gilbert. Maybe not Jai Arrow. But I think he is better than Tom Gilbert.
Yeah, he's a better scorer.
Yeah, especially, and Tom Gilbert plays lock for the Dolphins as well. And let's be real, I don't think anyone's taking Pat Garrigan's spot anytime soon.
No.
And then Mo Fodawaker. Interesting selection. Apparently he's been really good. I haven't been
paying too much to the Titans.
I haven't been paying too much attention on the Titans, nor have I been paying attention to Mo Fodawaker. I won't lie, I watched a few Titans games before Origin 1 because I was really hoping for that David Fafita would get picked.
Yeah.
Because he is a wrecking ball when he is 100%. At 100%.
Yeah.
And obviously, if he plays on the same side as Tino, that's the few combos there.
Few big boy combos.
Oh, for real, you got some deadly boys running at you. I would not want to be facing him. Imagine.
No.
Well, was Crichton playing that side, or was it? No, it was Turbo playing that side. So Turbo having especially an unfit Turbo trying to mark Fafita and Tino.
Nightmares.
We'll get on to the Blues now. How about you take the reins on this one? Because obviously I have said my piece about the Maroons.
Right,
what do you think?
Well,
get the team sheet up if you want.
Team sheet up.
Because there was a few interesting selections and a few selections I wouldn't have made personally, but yeah, I was going to say, just change it to State of Origin. Yeah, because there's a few selections I wouldn't have made personally, but obviously Brad and Greg Alexander and Danny Badiris and all the or Paul McGregor as well, all those Blues coaching staff.
Still a very solid team. I mean, you can't not pick James Sesko, Australian captain. He's going to be in the squad no matter what. Even after it wasn't even a bad game. It's just 2 mistakes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
He had a good game. Brian Toll, he makes meters every kick.
As
he brings it back.
Andrew
hard.
John said recently that your wingers in Origin are like front rowers.
Yeah.
And how their kick returns is like meter game. Like it's not about how much like obviously they're trying to make breaks and stuff like that, and like obviously your wingers score a lot of tries and your edges are really valuable. But when you got someone like Brian Toll, low center of gravity, absolute meter eater, probably the best winger in the comp.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think him
making meters
100%. I think he probably is the best winger in the comp. He
gives one of the forwards a rest.
One of the first names on the sheet in terms of backs for the Blues.
Yeah, there's no one taking his spot.
Yep.
And then Latrell Mitchell is a given. He's a beast.
A bit skeptical, obviously, because of fitness. People were. I personally would have still had him And
100%.
and obviously they've got Stephen Crichton at 18.
Yeah.
So that way, if Latrell isn't 100%, he can slot straight in.
Yep.
And obviously they can call someone like Burden up again if need be. Yeah. And then
High balls from Burton would be good though. Those high balls from Burton, those big bombs,
That's why I said, even though I love Nico, for game 1, I would have Burton on the bench because, man, we've seen Reece Walsh under the high ball. Sometimes he's a bit
shaky.
Yeah, a bit sus.
We've got those Burton,
Absolutely. I don't even know how he does it. Like, I've never seen...
No.
I've been watching Rugby League for probably about 12 years, 13 years, probably since about 2010.
No one wants to catch those.
And I've never, ever seen a kick like that. And that consistent as well.
Yeah. People just move out of the way.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, not
way.
me. You saw KP last year. I think it was in game 3 under Burton's. He'd just literally leave it, let it bounce.
Yeah. You'd rather take that risk than catch one of them.
Yeah, 100%. The next selection, the next center, I wouldn't have picked.
I mean, yeah. Look, it's Tommy Turbo. He's always been one of the greatest centers.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have Campbell Graham.
Yeah. Campbell Graham is playing a lot better.
I'd agree. Yeah, it's tough. Like, the Blues have that much talent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they still get it wrong.
Don't know
and
where
they
to
still
put
get it wrong.
I don't know, hopefully Tommy can bounce back, have a good game.
Yeah, hopefully. He's that kind of player that, like, he only needs one really good performance to, like, start, like, snowballing and getting on a really good rhythm. Yeah.
I mean, you saw him in Origin last year, even just in Manly. He was
Well, obviously he didn't play Origin last year. The year before, when he was the man of the series. Yeah. Oh my god,
that was crazy.
It's like people were making shouts for, like, in terms of prime in Origin, like, it's like one of the best.
Yeah, but then hopefully he can bounce it back.
100%. Now is the controversy. What do we think?
What, Josh Adokar?
No. Next two names.
Our next two names. Oh, Mitch Moses.
And who's his halves partner?
Luai.
I don't know about that.
It's a weird combo.
I've been saying all this week that if he picked Moses, it was going to be Luai. There's no way he'd drop Luai if he picks Moses.
Yeah, because Luai, he didn't have a bad game.
Yeah, no, I thought he was one of his better games. Everyone's like,
Origin,
Luai and Cleary, you got to get dropped. You got to show that this team can be changed. And I'm like, bro, don't do this.
No.
I'm like, maybe drop Luai if for the long term. But after that game 1, if Freddy still has faith in him, I don't blame him. He had a good game 1.
He did.
Nathan Cleary, not so much. But I think Luai, he had 2 try assists. And everyone's like, oh, both of them were sitters. I'm like, he
made those sitters.
He's still, like, you got to take your chances in Origin.
Yeah,
and he had 2 try assists, and he took a bit of the kicking off Nathan Cleary. But yeah, I thought he didn't play too bad, and probably did warrant a reselection. But obviously there was 3 names running for that 7 jersey.
Yeah.
Do you think the right one got picked?
Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. Like, they're all good halves on their days, but just see how it turned out in Origin.
Even if Reynolds knows Suncorp well?
I was thinking that too, home ground, Reynolds just one of the greatest halves.
Yeah, probably the best kicking game in the NRL.
100%. He was my
Phil Gould was questioning his legs for Origin.
He's getting a bit old.
Getting a little bit on a bit. Moses obviously played game 3 at Suncorp, even though it was a dead rubber.
Yeah.
Played game 3 at Suncorp. They lost. But yet again, do we think that... I think Moses' long kicking game is better than Nico's, but I think with the ball in hand, Nico's more threatening.
Yeah.
And I think Nico can organise a team better than Moses. But yet again, Moses can just... You've seen how...
Turn it up.
He can turn it up.
Last week.
I would... It's hard. Obviously, Nico came off the back of a really bad game. Probably his worst game of NRL in the last 18 months on the weekend. Probably warranting why he doesn't get selected. I don't know. It's just... It's tough. Origin's so cutthroat.
Yeah. And
you really can't pick it. So...
Because if we win this week, I don't think they'll take Moses out either. Or next week, sorry.
You mean, for Origin 3?
For Origin 2, if we win...
Yeah, if you win Origin 2...
Moses is staying in the squad.
He's stay for Origin 3.
Yeah, so we won't see Nico If we do,
Yeah, I
we offer
agree because
loss.
Cleary's got 6 weeks, but it's a hamstring,
Yeah.
and it usually takes at least another couple to get.
Yeah.
And they usually takes at least another couple to get back to 100%. And
Game
at
ready.
Origin, you need 110% fitness.
100%, yeah.
Like you see the meters they make, they do like 100 meters a minute. It's literally
Their
ridiculous.
intensity to play with is just
It's
fucking crazy.
unmatched almost in any sport in the world. I've never seen that type of intensity ever.
And passion as well.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You want to keep going through the list or
Yeah. Adokar, he needed a pick.
needed
He's
a
just-
pick?
Yeah.
He needs more ball.
He does. He didn't get room to stretch his legs last game.
Oh, barely. He did more defending than getting on the attack, which is obviously his most threatening asset of his game.
Like if he gets open on the wing, then
Yeah,
who's on his side?
Trell.
Oh,
No, it'll be
Queensland.
it'll be Turbo because left edge it'll be Luai, Trell, Tor, and then it'll be Moses, Turbo, Adokar.
Yeah. Who's he running against? Tuolangi
Yeah,
and Hammer.
Tuolangi had that Blues right edge on in his pocket.
Oh.
2 try savers.
Yeah, they were great.
Was that Frizzell? Was it a try?
I call that a try. The ball, we
Alright.
saw ball down.
Alright, my verdict as a Maroons fan, I think it goes up as no try, which it did. It's no try. It goes up as a try. It's a try. There is no conclusive evidence.
I saw the ball.
Although the arm's in the way,
Yeah.
I think the ball was on the ground. At least a tiny bit of the ball was on the ground. But the fact that you
call.
can't see it and it's inconclusive,
Yeah.
and it went up
That's
as no
just what they
try,
go off.
you can't.
Yeah.
There's based on like precedent and how referees actually officiate.
Yeah.
There's in my opinion, there's almost no way you can give that a try.
Understandable, but yeah, hard to see.
It's obviously as a Blues fan, it's heartbreaking, and that could have been the difference, genuinely. And then obviously the Teddy one that didn't touch the ground. He held that up.
Yeah. 100%.
Um,
Still 2 great try savers either way.
yeah. And then we lost both of our wingers, and then we lost a man to an awful sin bin call, and we still won.
You scored 2 tries, didn't you?
2 tries with 12 men, and our centers playing out on the wings, and Ben Hunt and David Fafita in the centers.
I mean, you got Ben Hunt at the field.
Oh, mate, Dozer. Go
Dozer.
Dozer. We love Dozer.
Oh,
You love Dozer. I
Dozer.
love Dozer.
I felt it. It was hard watching last year. Dozer scored that game-winning try.
That try's so good. So I think that is my favorite ever Origin moment. It is so. My mum was at Suncorp for that game, and she said it was like nothing ever.
Bittersweet.
I think that is the best game of rugby league I've ever watched in terms of if
a great
you're a
game.
neutral or a Maroons fan. My God, it was like
a great game.
so good. It had everything. The first 5 minutes was like just head knocks galore.
Yeah.
People getting absolutely
taken
Luai over Cobbo, and then Lindsay Collins went off, and then there was just like literally war.
Yeah.
Straight out war.
That's what Origin is.
Hey, that's what it is. It's literally the toughest coda sport in the world.
100%.
Yeah. Are we on to front rowers now?
Front rows, yeah. Paulo and Haas, 2
They're
big boys.
They're locks. Like they're always locked in for the Blues. They do their bit. Haas needs more minutes.
He does.
He played like 50 minutes in game 1.
He can play more.
He could easily play over an hour. Whether it's you take him off at the half-hour mark on each half.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Damien Cook, good to see him back.
I would have had him in game 1.
I would have too. He's just one of those Origin players you need. Cook around the rock.
I think though, if you're playing 2 hookers for the Blues, which we'll get into later, I think Cook is better off the bench. Comes on and he makes runs out of dummy half.
Yeah. Over tied Queensland side.
100%. That's what Grant does. It's like Ben Hunt's not that little like dashy guy from a dummy half, but he's like a steady Eddie. He'll defend well. He'll always put his body on the line.
Yeah.
He'll, as you said, kick well. He'll do 40-20s out of dummy half like it's nothing. I think he's leader in the NRL for 40-20s, or is it Reid Marnie?
I'm not sure. I know he's not first, I don't think.
He'll be up there for sure.
He is up there, but yeah.
Because I remember when we went to the Cronulla Saints game, he kicked one against us, and then you scored off that play. I'm like, what can I do?
Didn't do much more after that.
Seriously, yeah. The Dragons never do.
Frizz and Hudson Young.
Yeah. Hudson Young's a weird selection.
I like it though.
I would have had Ola Kawatu.
Yeah. Surprised, is he even...
And Keon's at 19.
Yeah.
I think Keon's better than Hudson Young.
I don't know, Hudson Young, he has a bit more of a spark, I guess. in the attack.
He was ruthless in that start of the game when
He was going for blood.
He wanted Cherry's head.
He did.
He wanted to kill that man. I couldn't believe it.
I love watching him play.
And then much like Big Red does, Tom Gilbert's face was the color of your shirt. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my god.
He
I'm
was
like,
fired up too.
Yeah. 100%. I thought Tino was going to be throwing hands as usual. I want to see Tino and Haas have another brawl.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my god, that was so
Two of
good.
the biggest boys in the comp. Just going at it.
Probably. Oh, actually, yeah, definitely the biggest boys in terms of Origin selection. But like Nelson's probably
Big Nelson.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Who's after that? Obviously, Yo at lock. And then what's the bench again?
Stefano. Which,
Yep.
It's a long. Not. Yeah.
I think it's long awaited. He got picked in the squad a couple years ago,
yeah.
in the extended squad, and he didn't get a run on. And then he obviously got picked at 19 for game 1. And then TPJ's not been reselected, so they've brought him in. So he knows the Blues camp. Clearly has a good relationship with Freddy.
Yeah.
I
like to see.
So yeah, good on him. I think he's pretty young from my understanding. And yeah, let's. I mean, what's the Blues can't really go more downhill from here in terms of their selection in their forward pack. And I think he's been good for the Tigers this year, especially playing off the back of the likes of Appy Coruscant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see him play. Cameron Murray is not a lock.
I would have started him at lock. Especially when you haven't got Nathan Cleary in front of you, or behind you.
He's just another workhorse.
Yeah, he's so good,
Tackles
man. He's so good. I think the only thing skeptical about him is his fitness. Maybe, depending if he's fit or not, they bring Keon in and play him at 15 instead of Cam Murray, because obviously him and Latrell are a bit skeptical on fitness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you got Liam Martin, great game.
He was your best player in game 1. 100%. He was so good.
He was so fired up.
Yeah.
No one was stopping him on that break he made.
He put a huge hit on someone.
He did,
was it Val?
I can't remember, but I remember he did.
I think it might have been Val.
He was looking for them all game.
Oh my god, he was ruthless. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, put a smile on my face.
Yeah, it would. I was like, my god, there's gonna be some mad HIA inspections after this.
100%. He was a fucking monster.
Maybe that's why Billy didn't pick KP, because if you saw Liam Martin running with a swinging arm, that might be his career over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Reece Robson, 17th.
Yeah.
Can't hate it. He's another workhorse, a dummy half, just makes tackles.
Yeah. And I'll just, obviously, I only talked about the ins and the outs. I'll just talk about a few selections in particular I find interesting. Obviously, Reece Walsh is his second game at Origin. Probably the biggest game of his career to date now.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I mean, he's just got it. He's got the speed, he's got the vision.
He does have everything. I think once Billy nuts out those little defensive errors, obviously probably the best fullback to ever play NRL.
Yeah, especially being taught by Billy at the Origin camp.
He has the best coach he could possibly ask for, basically. He's associated with the selection, Darren Lockyer. I'd say Darren Lockyer and Slater are probably the best two players you could probably talk to ever.
They'd definitely be around him
to coach him about how to play fullback. So he's obviously got them in his corner. I think that's the only real person I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, Flegler got selected again. There's a few others that got selected because I was surprised they even got picked for game 1. They got picked again, obviously. But yeah. What else about Origin? There's something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, how do you think the 2-hooker system is going to work for the Blues?
Man, I mean, I don't mind it. Having fresh legs at dummy half is always good because, one who gets tired, another comes on, just can break the game open.
What do we think of Reece Robson?
I like him.
You like him?
Yeah.
I think he's good. I think I was actually surprised that
he's been in the mix for a while.
Because obviously it would have been Appy and Damien Cook.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of skeptical because Blake Brayley actually got called into the camp for game 1.
Yeah, he did
so I thought there might be a chance he gets picked. But obviously he'll be playing club football this week. I'll be seeing him play on Sunday at Shark Park, so I'm not too upset. But Reece Robson, I don't know, obviously Nico only got 15 minutes of ball last game.
Yeah.
but I think Reece Robson will get more. But do you think it's going to be like much more? Do you think he will crack half an hour's worth of play, or do you think Freddie will let Cook get into the flow of things?
I think it might let Cook get into the flow. You know, if he's playing good and you can't take him off.
100%.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way that's kind of the only reason Nico got in, because the Blues were ahead.
Yep.
Nico wasn't getting put on the field, and then he got put on, and they lost. Yeah.
Yeah. But Damien Cook can play.
Yeah.
The whole game.
And my last little piece on Origin, game predictions. What do we think? I want a score, and I want one surprise event or one little prediction. Like, for instance, like, I don't know, there's going to be a sin bin for something, or there's going to be like a try scorer in like the last minute or something like that, or a field goal win or something like that. Just like, I want something surprising other than just a score.
Man, it's going to be, you know, a tough game as always. I don't think it would be a smashing by any team.
Yep.
You know.
I could not agree more.
I don't know.
I have a score in my head.
You have a score?
I'm waiting for yours though.
Wait for mine.
Yeah. What do you want me to go first?
You know, I got to be close. I reckon maybe it'll be in the 20s, I think.
Okay.
I think there might be 4 points in it.
Yep.
Real close.
Do we have a number?
I'm going to go 24-20.
Mine's pretty close to that. Mine's 20-18.
Yeah.
Obviously, yours will be to the Blues.
To the Blues, of course.
And mine's to the Maroons.
Yeah.
At Suncorp, at home. I think it'll be 20-18, 3 converted tries each, and a penalty somewhere in the spot for the Maroons.
Yeah.
And my surprise event is going to be that... I think that... Oh, my God, let me think. Maybe that Stefano's going to score a debut try.
I reckon he
I can see him crashing over.
I can as well with the, you know, the spine around him.
Yep.
He's definitely got what it.
Stefano, debut try, I reckon. Yep. What about yours? I need to hear one from you.
All right.
Obviously, we've predicted no field goals, so that's off the plate.
Yep.
Maybe a 2-pointer field goal if you
could be.
Maybe. Do you think that might ice the game for someone? I don't know.
Definitely. Who we got that can kick? Does Moses kick many field goals?
Latrell.
Latrell. He's got a big
Latrell.
boot. He's got a big boot.
Do you think he'll kick, or do you think Moses will kick? As in terms of conversions.
Oh, true.
Because obviously Cleary's your go-to guy.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of conversion, like percentages, I think Latrell might be better than Moses. But it's whether Freddy trusts him.
Yeah. Yeah. I see Latrell getting a double.
Yeah, that's fair. He'll be running at Holmes, which makes sense. The edge rower on his side will be... Who's playing on the other side? Oh, it would be Nene. So, yeah, I could see that. It'll be Nene, Holmes, and Coates on that side. Yeah, I could see that.
He can score tries, I will.
He could run at anyone almost, and he'll score tries.
100%.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. All right, I think that's our Origin wrap-up.
Yep.
We'll cut, and we'll get into the last segment of the podcast. All right, now for the final segment. We've just clocked around the 50-minute mark.
Here we go.
Trying to get around the hour. That's what we like. Not too long, not too short.
Yeah, perfect.
So for segment 3, I've got... It's called Rate It or Hate It. I'm going to say a couple statements about rugby league, and you're going to tell me whether you rate it or hate it. And some of them I'll want a reason from you.
Yeah.
And others will just kind of be straightforward.
All right.
And if you want to spit some back at me, I'm more than happy for it. Obviously, you haven't really come prepared. I've come a little bit prepared.
Keep it brewing.
Yeah, let him cook. Okay, so my number 1. More than two coaches will be sacked or leave their job by the end of the season.
Man, honestly, I don't see that happening.
You don't, or you can?
I don't.
You don't see 2 or more leaving or getting sacked?
Oh, well, does Griffin count already?
No, from now.
Oh, from now.
From now, 2 or more.
Who's on the chopping block?
Adam O'Brien. He's been on the chopping block for the last 4 years. Maybe Justin Holbrook. Maybe I've heard Tim Sheens might be leaving.
It's where coaches just come and go nowadays. Yeah,
I mean, I know you're a bit more of a casual football fan, like soccer, but man, they come and go like it's like a bloody merry-go-round. Like literally,
same as NBA.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like literally I think so. In the Premier League season this year, it's a 38 game season, and I think 13 managers left or got sacked, and there's only 20 teams in the league.
Far out. I mean, you know, Jurgen Klopp.
Oh yeah, no, he is the longest serving coach in the Premier League. But yeah, anyway, but like you've got obviously Bellamy is by far and away the longest serving coach in the NRL. Yeah. But yeah, so you hate it?
I'm gonna say I hate it.
You hate it? Okay.
I'm a yeah.
Well, if you do see coaches leaving, who will be the next?
It's hard to say. I guess, like you said,
Adam O'Brien.
Brian, yep.
I think that's a fair shout. Mm-hmm. Speaking of coaches, Craig Bellamy will coach the NRL's 18th team.
18th. I don't know. I think he might be too old. Oh, I guess. Look at Bennett. He's not too.
Yeah, mate. Bennett is
super coach. He can coach anyone.
Yeah. So do you think Bellamy or no? You hate it?
Depends. Depends how long, because he's thinking about retirement, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, if you say hate it, I'm going to back it up with another question.
All right. I'm going to say hate it just because he's already, you know, on retirement, and I don't see it definitely.
Will he go for his second stint as New South Wales coach if he leaves the Melbourne Storm? I think Brad Fittler's contract ends at the end of next year's Origin series, which is also when his contract with the Melbourne Storm runs out. Can you see Bellamy being the next? Obviously, he's already coached Origin once. Yeah. Can you see him doing it again?
I can if maybe we lose and Fittler's out.
That's my point. I think Fittler is already like
iffy. Yeah, everyone's a bit iffy on his selections.
I think they may just let him see out his contract and not renew it.
Yeah.
Hence why I think Bellamy may. But it's whether you hate it or rate it.
Yeah, if we have a next few games, then I don't hate it.
I think game 2 will be a big tell.
100%.
If you just like flunk game 2, like it's not even a contest, then I think I think you won't be in the job for too much longer. Brad Fittler.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Penrith won't make the grand final.
Hate it. I'm sorry, but they're just always in it.
You reckon?
Yeah, they've just got that team. I feel like
obviously there's a few teams up there. Brisbane, South.
Brisbane, yeah.
Melbourne always good. Cronulla towards the back end of the season usually do pretty well.
Yeah, they're a great attacking team too. But I don't know. I see Penrith in the grand final.
Yeah. What about minor premiership?
Minor premiership. I haven't seen the ladder in a while.
They're first.
But
I actually saw a thing today based on win percentage, because obviously the buys are kind of like all like muddled all the teams up. Yeah. Like it's kind of distorted the ladder a bit. Mm-hmm. Technically, if you're going off wins, Brisbane should be first.
I do see Brisbane making that. They're a solid team.
They are very good. Obviously, they've got acquisitions of Reece Walsh and other players.
Reynolds, Carrigan.
Mam. He's been absolutely phenomenal.
He has.
Okay, with obviously Flanagan being appointed, will Ben Hunt leave the Dragons?
Man, I really hope not.
Nothing
makes me mad.
So you hate it?
I hate that.
Everyone's been a hate. Oh my god.
I mean, you talk about Ben Hunt leaving.
I think the next one's going to be a hate as well. Queensland to clean sweep.
You know, mate, I'm hating that one. You can't.
It's been 5 hates so far.
You can't admit to a clean sweep by Queensland.
Oh my god.
Or to Ben Hunt leaving the Dragons. He is the Dragons.
And he is Queensland.
Exactly.
And the last one, Nico will win back-to-back Dally M's.
That's there's not as much competition, I think, but I think
everyone was saying Cleary, but I think with his injury, it kind of stunts his chances a lot.
6 weeks out. I think Nico might have it if he continues,
And obviously he hasn't been picked for Origin. I don't assume he's going to get picked for game 3 either.
Yeah, so no rest games, so he's just going to keep playing on a great attacking team as well. So, I can see Nico getting that
gone back to back.
I can see that.
Okay.
He is a great half.
I think
I love it.
For that one, he may not get Dally M, but I think he will get Dally M halfback of the year. So maybe Harry Grant might get it, or like Payne Haas or someone like that.
Yeah.
But I can see him getting halfback.
Yeah.
Do you have any for me that you've just come up with off the top of your head?
Man.
Or if not, is there any other NRL topics you want to talk about?
All right, I got a Dragons one. How do you think we'll go next year? Not this year. This is counted out.
Well, this year...
I'm not going to talk about it. No. We have a chance. No, we won't be. We won't get wooden spoon last year.
It depends how Flanagan recruits, I think, and whether you keep Ben Hunt. Hypothetically, you get a few decent players. You fix your salary cap a little bit over the break, and you keep Ben Hunt.
Need Ben Hunt.
I think you get to maybe around 12th, 13th. Cody Ramsey hopefully might be back by then.
Hopefully, but seeing how Sloan goes.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'll play fullback. I think he might play on the wing. Whether is it Fige or is it Fine? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, Fine.
We've got some good wingers there.
Fine and Ravalawa, and then you got Sully and Lomax. Sully's admitted that many times he does not want to be at the club.
Has he?
I swear he has. He's like, I didn't want to leave Manly. I didn't want to leave Manly. He's like, and then he's like, they shipped me to the Dragons.
I don't blame him for that comment, but still, he has had some good games for us.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. He's been a good player. Don't get that twisted. But is that where we want to leave it today? Unless you've got any other hate it or rate it or whatever you want to call it. Anything Origin related?
Can we get a biff counter?
Biff counter. Oh,
biff
yes.
Counter for Origin. What do you reckon? What's the number?
It's funny because it would be a different biff counter if Gagai was playing.
100%.
I always send Winston that photo of Burton getting flogged by Gagai.
Yeah. The 2-on-1?
I don't think it was 2-on-1. I think he was trying to break it up.
I don't know about that.
Headlock, inner headlock. Yeah. Biff counter, I'm going to say 4.
I'm saying 5 biffs.
5 biffs? And what are we counting as a biff? Are we talking any scuffle?
Any scuffle.
Any scuffle. So no hands, no. So I'm saying like if you're saying like people just like grabbing shirts is a biff.
I guess stop a play, any kind
stop of play,
push and shove.
Cool. What about any punches? Punch counter. And we're going to be watching Origin together.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if that's still the plan, we're going to be watching Origin together. So obviously, we'll be accountable. We hold each other to account for this punch counter, and if so, who?
I mean, man, they do have some hot blooded players.
Yeah.
Looking to get into it. Maybe.
I've got 2 answers for this.
You reckon Tino? You reckon he can?
I've got 1. If Big Red plays 2.
He'll get amongst it.
Yeah, oh mate,
100%.
He will crack on with any player. He doesn't care if it's Junior Paulo or Payne Haas or bloody James Tedesco. He will crack someone in the jaw, and I don't doubt that. And I reckon Billy will instill that in him. If there's any injuries in our forward pack this camp, best believe that Big Red will be in the squad.
Yeah. Hudson Young is a bit of a shit star too.
Teammates. Yep. Hudson Young and Corey Horsburgh.
It'll be funny to see them go at it.
Oh, mate. Have you seen, speaking of Big Red, have you seen the hot dog?
I have seen the hot dog.
My God. I'll put a photo of it up now. It is crazy. It is like, how big is it? Is it like 30 or 40 centimeters long? It's
massive.
Like the actual size of the hot dog is normal, but the actual Frankfurt is like, it's huge. It's like a ruler. It's bloody massive. Anyway, is that where we want to leave it today?
Sounds good.
We'll end it on the big red hot dog. I think that's an appropriate spot to leave it. Thanks for coming on, Ethan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Obviously,
me.
always good to have a new face. And maybe next time we can do another NRL podcast. Maybe UFC. Maybe back to the Premier League, obviously. The end of the season. Sorry?
NBA, maybe.
NBA, obviously, Denver Nuggets won yesterday. Interesting.
Yeah, 4-1.
When does the season start back up?
I'm not too sure.
Because I would love to do an NBA one with you.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. Obviously, one of our other friends, Baden's big on it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Obviously, we're a bit short on mics, but I'm sure we can arrange something for sure. Yeah, we can arrange something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that has been today's episode of the Check the Score podcast. Check me out on TikTok as well. I'm posting heaps of stuff on TikTok at Joshua Holden. I will put a little tag on the screen. Thanks for listening. See you next time.